before, I am Jen Quinn, Growth Manager at Virgin Money Manchester, and we are delighted to be sponsors of today's event. I wanted just to let you know about our brand new Brighter Money Current Account Bundle. We've just launched it with 3 brilliant rewards. So we're giving a £50 donation to any Virgin Money registered charity of your choice, a case of Virgin wine worth £138, and 2% on your current account balance up to £1,000. We'll share that link with you after today's event, and if you do get in touch if you'd like to hear any more. Just before we get started, just to make you aware that we are recording today's event, please keep your microphones muted and feel free to use the chat box if you need any help. We'd love to hear how you found today's event. Please do tag us in your social media posts. That's at Virgin Money on all social platforms. Are you ready to get back to the office is today's discussion topic. So for now, I'll hand over to Philip Westwood from Overbury and look forward to catching up with you at our next event.
Morning, everybody. Thank you, Sean, and thank you, Jen. I'm actually in our office today, talking to you. So we've been back in our office since the summer, and I'm very happy to talk you through what the purpose of today really is, to talk you through why that is and what we've done, and the reasons that we welcome people into our office. Jen mentioned my name's Philip Westwood. I'm a director here at Overbury, and we're office interior and fit out specialists. So we're working with a lot of clients at the moment who are either about to embark on this journey or have embarked on it already, and we're supporting and advising them on ways they can get back to the office safely. So what's our experience? We found that this is all about our people. We opened our office in the summer because it's what our people were wanting from a well-being perspective, but also from a meeting and collaboration perspective, where they were struggling to do that over mediums like this and Zoom, etc. So we looked at how we could best possibly support our people. So we wanted to do it in the right way. We wanted to do it absolutely in a well way. So we wanted to achieve a standard that we knew would give our people confidence in returning. And we did a lot of engagement with them to really understand what they wanted from the office, why they wanted to come back to the office, and what would the concerns be of coming back to the office. So engagement was really important. And then there was a team of people that put all that into planning and to make sure that the process and the office supported what that engagement was telling us. And then finally, we're now looking at, what does that future of the office look like? Now we're helping people get back to the office confidently, safely, have working practices changed, and what does the office need to support them to do that? I mentioned about doing it well. Well is an accreditation that initially was about lighting, air, fresh air, water, activity in the office by affiliate, and companies could, when they're doing the fit out, could reach a well accreditation. What Well decided to do was accredit businesses that achieve certain standards for when their people came back to the office, which I'll talk to you about it as we move on. It was really important for us to make sure, as it will be for you, to make sure that everything is safe and gives your people confidence, and that's what this Well accreditation does. And we were the first Well accredited office in Europe, actually, for welcoming people back. There's a number of criteria which I won't go into in too much detail, but it's all around health, safety, and protocols, which I'm more than happy to share with people after, to meet this Well accreditation standard, and there's 21, and you need to achieve 15 of those. And I think what the reason we did this, through the engagement with our people, people wanting to come back to our office because of well-being, like I mentioned earlier, to get away from the home, for all sorts of reasons, and probably half the reasons we've all experienced. But also, you know, a lot of our work is done around collaboration, around looking at detailed plans of offices, looking at finishes, etc. And we found that very difficult to do on a virtual basis. So listening to that, why people want to come back, we wanted to give them the confidence to them and their people and their families that coming back to the office was safe, and would also help with their well-being and productivity. And planning and preparation, like I said earlier, was and is key to that. Clearly, there are legislative requirements, and they change all the time. They've changed. We first opened our office in June, and those legislative requirements have changed all the time. So when we first opened, clearly there was hygiene, there was social distancing, but there was no requirement to wear masks. There was no real requirement initially about how many people could go in the lift. So a lot of things have changed and will continue to change. And we've got a checklist that we can support and send you about those considerations that you need to take. And as I've stressed a few times, this was all about our people. We reopened our office because that's what our people were telling us that they wanted, again for their well-being and to achieve the productivity that they desired. So what was, again, we looked at our office, and we didn't really want to make any rash changes around changing of furniture and changing of working practices, because we didn't know how people wanted to use the office. What we did know is that people wanted to come back, and we then had to find a way to make it safe for them. And we changed the numbers of people in the office. We changed where they could sit. We changed how they could circulate around the office, how many people could congregate in certain areas at any one time. We spent a lot of time looking at that social distancing element and ways that people move back and can move around the office, and how many people can a meeting room support, and what does that and what can they do in that meeting room or that environment. So we didn't make any rash changes around furniture. We did remove some seating which encouraged social distancing, but with regard to removing lots of furniture and putting more agile or collaborative stuff in, we didn't do that initially. This was all about simple process that allowed a certain number of people back into our office safely. They knew how to move around the office, and where they could, and how many people were allowed in certain areas. One thing that it was really important, still remains very important, and we believe will continue to remain important, is health and hygiene. Certainly when we're speaking to our clients now, health and well-being, even though was a priority for them 12 months ago, they see that as being even a better or a higher priority that they want to invest in now. So, and we feel that will continue to be so. So we work very closely with our cleaning company to talk about new cleaning regimes and what we could do on a day-to-day basis around everybody's hygiene. So we implemented a number of new policies. The office was cleaned more regularly than it was originally. there was a real focus on sanitisation around the office before you came into the office. And we really see that as a trend that's going to continue. So when we're looking at designing offices now, health and hygiene is very much high on the priority. The other thing that we looked at and we put together was an office protocols document. So that allowed people to understand the planning, understand that we've taken on board the consultation that we've done with our people, and what we'd implemented into the office. And again, around social distancing. Again, this has changed in time around masks, around how you enter and leave the building, around how you enter our space in the building, through temperature, through sanitisation, about, again, how many people can work in the office, how many people can work in certain meeting rooms, how many people can congregate in the breakouts and the canteen areas. So it was a document to really give our people confidence that this had been really thought through, and it was a real safe environment to come into. And you know, the numbers of colleagues that come back into the office on a daily basis really demonstrate that they feel comfortable and confident that our office is safe. And you have to book in to the office because obviously numbers are extremely limited for social distancing reasons. So I say we've put this into practice, and you know we opened in June. Again, that was because I say what our people were looking to do, what they wanted to do, and how they could become how they felt they were less productive at home doing certain tasks, and would be more productive working in a team environment. So I think what's been evident is that people aren't spending every day of the week here. People aren't spending full days here. People are spending, you know, a day a week or certain elements of days where they need to meet or collaborate or do tasks that they can't do from home, and they feel they're going to be more productive doing that in the office. And also speaking to our people, there's a social element of it as well, that they've missed that interactivity with people. So we put together a welcome guide, which welcomed people back. Again, listing what the protocols were, what we what we expected of our people if they're going to use the office, to keep them safe, to keep their colleagues safe, and to keep their families safe. We spent a lot of time looking at wayfinding signage, so the flow of the office. So there's a one-way system, which now has just become natural to people. It's not an effort, people don't think about it, and I think that will just remain because it's just becoming natural the way people move around our office. We have a number of hygiene stations. First of all, when you walk in, we ask people we take people's temperature, and we ask them to use a sanitizer as they walk in. And then there are sanitizer stations dotted around the office that now has become, as all of us really, a real habit that we use as we walk past, just as we do on a daily basis, subconsciously, without even thinking about it. We ask people in between the cleaning regimes that when they've been sat at a workstation or they've been sat at in a meeting room, that there are sanitized wipes, and they wipe the area that they've been sat at. Again, it's become just a matter of course now. People do that as a matter of course without thinking about it. People are very conscious around fresh air. So a lot of our clients are looking at how their mechanical systems, their fresh air, can they use when we open the windows here? Not all buildings you can do that, but the real focus on fresh air, allowing fresh air in the building, which is something that our people were very keen to ensure that we were doing. People wanted to be in here because they wanted to collaborate. Clearly, one thing I think we've really noticed over the last year is that collaboration on teams, sorry, I don't mean teams like this, I mean in teams, apologies, was a really important part of our culture, probably one that we either took for granted or didn't realise, and that's, again, the driver why people wanted to come back. So it was very important that, you know, although 12 months ago we didn't realise it would be 12 months, but maintaining our culture for our people was really important to them, and allowing them to collaborate on projects, again, was really important to them. One of the things we have done, I did talk earlier about not knee-jerking into big changes, furniture changes in the office. We realised very quickly that we had to invest in some technology. So we obviously had meeting rooms with technology in them that allowed presentations, etc., to be presented in those meetings. But clearly, that wasn't allowing us to enjoy and embrace meetings like this. So we invested in technology quickly in the late summer that allowed Teams meetings, Zoom meetings, and other online platform meetings to happen easily and quickly, and ease of use for the end user. So you may have a couple of people here who are on a Teams meeting with either colleagues or clients, and we needed to be able to facilitate that better than we had, and that was a very quick fix for us. I think one of the things we've absolutely found is when we are either pitching for work or when we are discussing with clients, having 2 or 3 people in a room, socially distanced, etc., physically in a room together, the feedback that we've had from both internal colleagues and with clients, that it's far more collaborative, it's far more intuitive. So that's been a really important part for what we've done, is implementing some new technology. And then on the subject of technology, we are in the process of looking at, you know, what does that mean? I think there's this talked about hygiene probably being something that will stay, but I think what people are very conscious of, again, something that will stay, is how can they interact with technology without in a hands-free basis. So that's through your own phone, that's through apps, and we're looking very closely about how we can do that. That's about how you book spaces. So it's all can be done through your own phone, through your own laptop, through your own iPad or what have you. That again, it's all about tech, but it's about hygiene, and that people want to embrace that more. And then we started to look at furniture. I talked earlier that we decided that we wouldn't make any rash decisions about furniture. And what all we did is we removed seating and placed seating where people were able to sit from a social distance perspective, and everybody has respected that. So we did move some seating. What we are doing now is, and what some of our clients are starting to do, is think about new working practices and what does that mean, and as such, does the office need repurposing? So people in general, and this is through our survey work, but in general, people or our clients are saying, actually, we don't need as many workstations, because people will do that work elsewhere more flexibly from home moving forward. We need some more collaborative space. We need quiet space, which allows meetings like this. So if I was sat in the middle of our open plan office, with everybody around me, it would be frustrating for them. So areas like this, and indeed social space as well. So we didn't make any rash changes. We've questionnaire our people, and we've also implemented that process with some of our clients just to understand how they're going to use their space moving forward. And that's really about looking to the future. We have a session already booked in with Pro Manchester on the 27th of May, where I'm really hoping that we can bring some of that learning of what our clients are doing, and with regard to the office of the future, what that look and feel, what that feels like after they've been in the office, they've made the decision to come back in a safe way, the hygiene, all the things we've talked around, which then gives them a basis to say, actually, how do we want to work as a business moving forward? So we're working very closely with clients around that, around engaging with their people through online questionnaires, through online workshops, to really understand what people want from their workplace, because people want to go back to the workplace. Business leaders want people to go back to the workplace because it's about culture, it's about collaboration, it's about socializing, it's about learning, and therefore the workplace still remains a very important tool to a business, but things have evolved in the last 12 months very quickly, and the office needs to evolve to support those people. So in May, we will share some of those stories with you about what organisations are doing once they've moved back into the office. We've got the protocols, the social distancing, the hygiene, etc. To now, okay, how do we make this a more permanent fixture? What do we need to support our people? And just very, very high level, one of the things that we're looking at, as I've said, is really looking about the number of workstations that people need and the other tools that they need to support their jobs. So this is an indicative space plan of a project we completed about 18 months ago. So there was some level of agility around workstations. So for 200 staff, there was 160 fixed workstations. So there was some level of agility there. What this client has asked us to do is really look at their office. We've engaged with their people through online questionnaires, through online workshops. We've understood what they want as they move forward. And now you can see that the agility of workstations has become far more aggressive. So there are only 80 workstations to accommodate 200 people. But there are other things that are taking their place. And that's around meeting, collaboration, well-being, and social. Because people will do workstation activities from home or elsewhere, and they're coming into the office for other reasons now. But this is a client. This is early days about what they're exploring to do. So clearly, we've enjoyed a journey, and a journey that probably most of you either have done or are thinking of doing. And we're very, very happy to help with some of the checklists we've done or some of the advice, more than happy. What we would say is, engage with your people, understand them, understand what it is they want. What are they nervous about going back? What is it that will make them feel secure and healthy? For them, for their colleagues and their families. So the engagement is really important. We found the guides and how people are going to use the office very, very useful. So it gave our people confidence that a lot of thought, a lot of time had gone into how the space will be used safely, and receiving that guide was really important because it gave our people that confidence. And clearly, because of what we do, we are market leaders and experts in this field. So receiving that WELL accreditation was really important for us. And that's mainly it's for two reasons. One is, again, to give confidence to our people that we're doing the right thing. But actually, I suppose ourselves, we wanted it to be an experiment so we could, take that working practice and support our clients when they go back to the office and achieve any well accreditation or etc. they wanted to. Again, to give their people and their families confidence that it was a safe place to work and come to. That's my overview. Very happy to field any questions or any thoughts if people want to.
Hi everyone, you're more than welcome to either ask a question in the chat box, or you can bring yourself off mute and ask Philip your question directly. We've had one question in the chat box. Philip, please can you explain the WELL accreditation as in a little bit more detail?
Yes, absolutely. So the WELL accreditation it's all about making sure that your environment supports well-being, and it's about ensuring that you have the right protocols in place to support well-being and give people confidence that your workplace is a safe place to work. Again, I'm repeating myself, for yourself, for your colleagues, and for your family. So there are 21 criteria. I have to say, most of them are relatively straightforward. It's around protocols around hygiene. It's protocols around how you move around the office. It's around protocols around how many people you let in the office. It's around social distancing protocols. It's around how people can get in the building and out of the building. Are the lifts accessible? Are there stairs accessible? How can people get in and out of the building safely? It's about people having technology that allows them to support meetings like this. So out of the 21 criteria, and it isn't a big investment, a financial investment, it's a time investment. It's about demonstrating that you've thought this through in your office, and that you have a list of protocols that you are doing that allows your people to be safe and well in the working environment. And again, I'm more than happy to share what those 21 tick boxes are, and we've got a questionnaire, we've got a back to work checklist that we can share as well. More than happy to do that. Yes, if you want to share that, I'm very happy to. But the WELL thing is all about protocols that allow your people to move back to the office safely.
Brilliant, thanks Philip. Any more questions, anybody? As I say, feel free to just take yourselves off mute and ask directly, or you can type them in the chat function. So if that's everything, I will send out a link to the recording for anyone who joined us late, and we'll be able to provide any bits of information that Philip mentioned there. I'll include it all in the post-event email. There'll also be a feedback form in there as well, so if you could take a moment to complete that, that'd be really appreciated. But all that remains is for me to say thank you very much to Philip and to Overbury, and thank you very much to all of you for joining us, and I'll see you next time. Thanks everybody.